guys, Julia here from JM Squared Vintage. Welcome back to the channel. I am here today with a ship with me video. These are all orders that came through over the weekend, for the most part since Friday night. It's Monday afternoon already, so I am running late. I've got to get these things packed up and over to the post office as soon as possible. I've got a million other things to do today. But if you are new here, first and foremost, welcome. I'm Julia. That's my name. We talk all things thrifting and vintage and reselling on the internet. If that sounds like something that you are into, consider hitting subscribe down below. I would love to have you along on this journey. But without further ado, guys, I've got a lot of stuff to show you, some really cool pieces, some high-end, some vintage high-end, some just really cool brands to talk about. A little bit of a slower weekend for me this weekend. I don't know if it was the same for you. Let me know in the comments down below, but still a lot to get through, still running late on Monday morning. So go grab yourself a snack, grab yourself a drink, sit back, relax, and let's get into the shipment. So our first item here is this super cute, this is kind of like an iCat print. I think this is kind of like an iCat print. This is a long maxi dress from Zara, and it's in fabulous condition. This is an extra small, if memory serves me right. So I knew that this would take a minute to sell, but all I can see is like poolside in Miami Beach. Like this just has that vibe. So it is buttoned all the way down. It can be worn fully buttoned, and it's basically like a shirt dress. I'm certain you cannot see the definition through the camera with this very busy print, but it can also be worn completely open, like an open front shirt. So I have a feeling that this is going on to be somebody's swim cover-up. But anyway, so pretty. It feels very resort wear, just kind of that vibe, but I really like this. I knew it would be a bit of a slower sell with it being that extra small size, but this was one I found and I knew was going to be a relatively quick sell. I did find it in the dead of winter, and with it being such a like summery color, summery design, I figured it would sell pretty much as soon as it started to warm up in the rest of the country, and sure enough it did. And it's funny, I love when I see stuff like this, I always watch to see if like activity on the listings go up. You know, that helps me kind of time my buying. Like, you know, right now, if I'm seeing interest in stuff like this start to pick up, then it's going to be the kind of stuff that next year around this time I'm looking to source and list at this exact time. But I got this guy for $32. I've had it for about 3 months. I got an offer for $22 with the $1 cost of the bins. This brought my profit to $16.60. It's super cute. I hope she loves that. Next up, now this was a top that I'm kind of surprised took as long to sell as it did. This is the Free People Hendrix blouse. And this neckline can be like worn really wide or it can be cinched in. It's like a mixed print chiffon peasant blouse. It's really pretty. I love the black and green combo on it. I think that's just a really chic color combination. But either way, I'm glad this did move. Again, this was just one that I was really surprised. I thought this would move pretty quickly because it is just so pretty. It's just a really versatile top. It can really be worn summer or winter, layered or not layered, but either way, I just thought this was really, really pretty. And I have had this for a while. I think I've had this for about 6 months. But either way, guys, I do apologize. The construction site next door has been quiet all morning, and they just started loud work now. So I apologize if you can hear that in the background. I will do my best to suppress it. But either way, I had this for $32, and I did have this for, yeah, it looks like 6.5 months. And it did pop through as a full price sale, so I can't be mad about that. $1 cost of the bins. This brought my profit to $24.60. So it was a long road to get there, but a pretty great sale. I love full price sales. I don't get them all that often. I don't think anybody gets them all that often, but I'll take them when I can get them. Next up is this cute little kimono, little boho crochet look kimono. I've sold a million of these. I feel like I've shown you a million of these. These are just such great topper pieces. They really make any outfit look special. I do think that these are just like little boutique buys. They all have different names. The tags look similar, so I'm assuming they're coming out of the same factory. These are things that are easily usable as like swim cover-ups. They can be thrown on over like a tank top and shorts. They're easy like top layers for a festival if you're going. It's like fashionable, but not too heavy, so you're not gonna be sweating you're not gonna be sweating like crazy. You still have a little of coverage and you still have a little like breeze coming through. So I pick them up every time I see them. They are guaranteed relatively quick sales. And I love getting the natural colored ones. This is like a cream colored one, but if I can find one in a different color, that will sell the fastest. Like green, like an olive green or a red, something like that. People really love them. They seek them out. And you just have to use keywords because nobody's gonna know the brand name. So you use like boho and bohemian and festival and topper piece and crochet and beachy and hippie. You know, you kind of use those terms and eventually it'll get eyes on your item. Actually, keep your eyes out. I'm working on a video that's all about SEO for search engine optimization, if you're not familiar with that term, SEO for resellers. So hopefully that'll be helpful to you guys as I'm working on it. If there's anything that you know, think that you need help with in particular, if you think that if you have any specific questions, let me know. I'll see if I can get them answered in that video. So this, again, I had listed for $22. I got an offer for $19.58. I had it for about 2 months, and with the $1 cost of the bins, this brought my profit to $15 even. So great little sale. I hope she loves it. Those pieces, like I said, I will pick them up. I won't pick them up at full price at the thrift store, but I will pick them up every time I find them at the bins. Next up, oh, this was such a cool find. So this is this beautiful crisp cotton kind of like lightweight gingham shirt from APC. If you are unfamiliar with APC, and I will see if I can find a picture of the label and I'll put it right over here. APC is the acronym for the French translation of the Production and Creation Workshop. And they're all about very simple clothes made with the best possible textiles, made with the best possible like actual production methods. And I think that this shirt is vintage from the 90s, just going by the tag. And if my suspicions are correct, then this is truly a testament to the quality of their manufacturing. I mean, just like it feels brand new. And this is one I found. It's a size small and it's a rigid shirt. And I knew it was going to be a little bit of a slower sale just based on all of those things. Plus it's kind of it's more of a summery shirt. And I did find it kind of like in the beginning, like when summer was just about over last year. But either way, I'm going to pick up anything from APC that I find. This is obviously a less significant piece, but if you can find, you know, one of their jackets, their jeans for sure, you know, they sell well over $100. This was probably a good $200-300 shirt. It's very expensive, but again, you're paying for that workmanship. You're paying for that forever piece. This is not the place to go and buy like a trend piece, if you know what I mean. So definitely something to be on the lookout for, and just a really interesting company to just kind of like keep your eyes on. I love watching what they're doing because you know, they are just the gold standard in production. They're really, you know, they're not flashy. They're kind of considered in that same echelon as like the super high-end designers that you know, the Gucci and the YSL, etc. But they're not as flashy. They don't really advertise. It's definitely an if you know brand. And again, you're not necessarily buying this for the label. You're buying this to have this shirt in great shape for the rest of your life. Anyway, so I had this listed for $38. I had it for about 8 months. I paid $4.89 for it at one of my local thrift stores. And I got a $30 offer, which I did accept with all of those in factor. That brought my profit to $23.30. So I'm always happy to find an APC item. I'm always delighted to sell one. Next up, now this was an interesting one. This was a piece that I picked up and I wasn't really familiar with the brand and it just felt very nice. As I think I said it all. I'll see if I can link the haul where I got it down below, but when I looked at this, I'm like, this just looks like a rich guy to me. You know, it's like really high, this is like jacquard fabric. It's got this beautiful contrast paisley print in the cuffs. It's just really beautifully made. And when I was looking it up and I'm, you know, getting ready to list it, I always see like, you know, famous people who have worn it, and Cameron from Modern Family wears these all the time. And I'm like, that's where I know it from. Either way, it's a beautiful shirt. It's beautifully made. It's got all the details. They run about $200 retail. And I think, you know, honestly, for a shirt like this, it's worth it. This is beautiful. This will last forever. It's got a little bit of like interest to it with this contrast lining. It's just something that'll show up like when you cuff your sleeves. And also, I don't know if you can see this, but I want to see if I can zoom in on that. Look at the logo. Look at how that's stitched in there. I mean, this is like a 4 color embroidery logo, which again, you know, when it comes to production, like when you're thinking about how things are made, everything costs money. So like embroidery costs money, 2-color embroidery costs money, 3-color embroidery costs more money, 4-color, you know, so the fact that they're investing on 4-color embroidery for the logo that you don't even see from the outside of the shirt really speaks to the company's commitment to quality. So Robert Graham is for sure a brand I'll be looking out for. Some of you kind of mentioned that you had found it before in the videos, but if any more of you have found it, let me know. Like, let me know what you found it for. Let me know what you sold it for, because this was a great shirt. They're more known, I believe, for a little bit more flashy colors. Like they have, you know, really kind of cool prints, and it's a little bit more out there. This is obviously a bit more subdued, but I was still very happy to find it. I'm always happy to learn about a new brand. You know, that's kind of what we do here. So this one I had listed for $54 and I only had it listed for 2 days. I got an offer for $42, which I gladly accepted. With a $1 cost of the bins, this brought my profit to $32.60, and officially Robert Graham is going on my BOLO list. My automatic buy. Next up here, this I knew was going to be a pretty quick sale. These are a cute little pair of overalls from Ruka. That's spelled RVCA, pronounced Ruka. I didn't know this until very recently. I called it RVCA, but these are just some cute, like oversized, breezy rayon overalls. These are, you know, made to be thrown over an easy tank top, just an easy day. They're not as rough and tumble as like denim, but they are super, super cute. And I like that they have these little like skinny spaghetti straps that are tied here on the front. So if you need it a little bit shorter, you can do that. These are pretty recent too. I think that these were from last year. But very cute. So Ruka is considered a surf brand. I see a lot of it around here. I don't pick up a lot of it, but these just kind of had those things going for it that I knew that I could list keyword and get eyes to it, right? So these were overalls, they were striped, they were relaxed fit, they were blue and white striped in particular, which is something that people search for. If you've got a blue and white striped item, be sure to use those words in that order, blue and white striped. So these I knew were going to be a pretty quick sale. So I had these guys listed at $32, and within 1 day, I got an offer for $25, which I did accept. And that's really what you're going to get on kind of surf brands, unless it's one of the more like boho cotton dresses. Stuff like this, you're going to get somewhere between 20 and 30, so don't go paying like $15 for it unless that really fits into your profit margin. But so I had it listed for 32, got an offer for 25 with a $1 cost of the bins. This brought my profit to $20.02. Hope she loves them. Perfect time for them. Next up is this great little one piece. This is kind of like a jumpsuit from Lucky Brand, and I wish, you know, we used to talk about smell-o-vision, like how I wish you could have smell-o-vision. I always used to say I wish I had smell-o-vision when I was watching the Barefoot Contessa, because like, life goals. This, I wish you had feel-o-vision, because this fabric is like butter soft. So this is from Lucky Brand. I don't pick up a ton of Lucky Brand that aren't boho shirts, which are really kind of sought after. But a jumpsuit like this is wide leg, super soft. It's got cute little like lettuce edge detailing on the top, spaghetti straps. And I think this is a size large, which jumpsuits in size large always go really fast for me. Faster than any of the smaller sizes. Jumpsuits in general go fast for me, but jumpsuits in size large, if you can find them, do sell the best. But this is just such an easy, like one-piece wonder. Throw it on, go about your day, maybe if you want, throw a little jacket over it, and it's an outfit. It's a whole outfit in one. So I had this one listed for $32, and I only had it listed for 2 weeks. Again, I knew that this was gonna go pretty quick. It just had all the things going for it. So I got an offer for $25, which I did accept. With the $1 cost of the bins, this brought my profit to $19 even. So cute little one piece. I hope they love it. Next up is this cute piece from a brand called Lola and Sophie. I don't know if you are familiar with Lola and Sophie. Lola and Sophie is a very high-end brand. I think this is one of their older pieces. They have a newer tag, but this is kind of like, I don't know if this is really showing up well, but this is all silk down here, and then it's got this beautiful like Pima cotton knit detail to it, and it's navy blue. It's so, like, this feels luxe, right? Like, you can just feel that this is luxury. And sure enough, like, Lola and Sophie is very high end. This is probably around $300. It just has this look like an old kind of packable anorak. And I don't know how else to describe that. It's got like a drawstring around the bottom. It's kind of sheer. Like, so the top is double layer and it's got that little back vent like an athletic jacket has. The bottom is pretty much sheer. So this is just kind of an interesting little light jacket that I think is very chic. Like, I grabbed this based on style. I did not know that brand. I did not know that Lola and Sophie was, you know, an expensive brand. I did feel the quality of the fabrics, of course. That's always a big clue, but more than anything, I thought that the style was really cool. I just thought it was a really interesting, innovative jacket that I've never seen before, and I'm always in the interest of finding those kind of pieces. So I had this one listed for $38, and I had it for about 3 months. This is definitely a spring jacket. So I had it listed for $38, and I got an offer for $30 after 3 months, which I did accept. I was ready to move this on. And with the $1 cost of the bins, this brought my profit to $24 even. So definitely a cool piece and definitely something interesting. Like, I've never heard of Lola and Sophie before. I've never seen Lola and Sophie before that piece, and I haven't seen it since. Have any of you ever found a Lola and Sophie piece, or are you familiar with it? Let me know. Let me know in the comments below. I'm always interested in kind of crowdsourcing this kind of information. Next up, this is one that I just adore. Look at this vintage sweater. This was mine. This was my own, and I bought this in a vintage store in Toronto, I think about 15 years ago, and I just don't pull it out all that much anymore. You know, it doesn't really fit me, but look, I mean, look at the details. The wide sleeves, the little seagull down there, there's little side vents. I mean, this is so 1970s prep. I cannot even handle it. It breaks my heart to like move this along, but I also like don't want it sitting and languishing in my closet. So it's time to find her a new home. I always say, like, with some of these vintage pieces, I feel like I'm sending out a little piece of my heart. This is truly a little piece of my heart. I remember finding this. It was kind of expensive when I bought it, and I didn't really have the money for it, but I bought it anyway, because, like, find another. And I wore it all the time, and I got so many compliments on it, and I hope that the person who bought this experiences the same. It's such an interesting, cool vintage piece that can so easily be woven into like a modern wardrobe. It's not something where you really have to like lean into the vintage of it. Like, you can wear this with white jeans and call it a day, and it's gonna look chic and like unlike anything else that anybody has. So I had her listed at $44, and she popped through as a full price sale. Can you tell I'm a little sad? I love this sweater. It popped through as a full price sale. I did have it listed for about 2 or 3 months, and you know, it's my own, so profit on that ended up being $37. I will take that $37 and I will put it into another cool vintage piece for me that I will wear. That does fit me. I mean, that's the thing. This truly like just doesn't fit. So I need to stop mourning it and know that it's going to a good home, or it's going to get some wear. Next up is this cool vintage, another vintage piece, this little Lacoste V-neck sweater. This is just like a little golf sweater. It's 100% cotton. It's vintage, I think from the 90s, and it's in great shape. Just a little black vintage sweater, size 6. I feel like I looked this up. I think that's equivalent to like a size large, but it's just as classic could be. Has the little alligator right there. Exactly what you're expecting with a Lacoste sweater. These are the kind of things that I will always buy. They're always in style. The vintage Lacoste, the vintage Izod, the vintage prep in general obviously is having a moment right now, but vintage preppy pieces are called timeless for a reason. They're always in style. Like, this is a black golf sweater with classic lines. This will never be out of style. and it will always have that little bit of panache, no matter what the predominant style in fashion is at the moment. This will always have a little panache of being able to say, oh, it's vintage. I will buy every one that I find. And these are pretty safe to pay up a little bit on. Like, I wouldn't go paying like $15, $20 for it, but if you find one, you know, for $6 or $10, I think you're pretty safe to do it. Because I have this listed at $34, and my sidekick sent an offer for $30, which was accepted. Check, after 2 months. And with the $1 cost of the bins, this brought my profit to $23 even. So I would say this is a pretty safe buy. As long as you're not paying up too terribly much, pick them up. Next up, now this is, this is our girl Eileen Fisher. I love finding Eileen Fisher pieces. The one thing I do not love about Eileen Fisher pieces is that they are often hard to fold, store, and photograph, because she tends to play with draping in a really chic way, which looks fabulous when it's on a body. But when you are trying to show it, it doesn't look fabulous. It just looks kind of like lopsided. But this is silk and wool. Yeah, wool, silk, and nylon. And it's this like perfect heather gray that has like a little bit of speckle to it. It kind of looks like a vintage gym sweatshirt. It has that feel to it, but it's lightweight. It's got a cool cowl neck. It's got these really interesting pockets that kind of come in from basically right under the arms. Again, things that are incredibly difficult to show on a screen when I'm trying to pack here. Anyway, this is Eileen Fisher. It is wool and silk. It feels like a dream. It is super classic. It's a size large, which I love to find. Eileen Fisher, I tend to find a lot of it in that extra small size. So larger sizes definitely sell way faster than small sizes. Although the funny thing is, as I was getting this thing prepped to be packed today, I was realizing that I feel like I haven't seen much Eileen Fisher recently. I usually see a fair amount of it, but for whatever reason, I just have not been seeing it. I think I haven't found a piece in a couple months, which is unusual for me. Maybe it's because they're being used. Maybe it's because we haven't hit the next season's kind of closet clear out yet. Not to be confused with Poshmark's closet clear out. But I had this listed for $38 for about 2 months. I got an offer for $31, which I did accept with a $1 cost of the bins. This brought my profit to $23.13. Great little sweater. Love Eileen Fisher. I will pick up pretty much anything I find. I just will think twice about the extra smalls. Finally here, and this is a real work of art. I've had this one for a while, and I'm so excited that I'm finally getting it out into the world. This is a beautiful silk strapless dress from Tibby. And this just has like the minimalist lines of your dreams. So this is vintage from Y2K, right around the turn of the century, and it's got like a built-in corset, and it's that pretty straight across top. It's just a lovely piece. It's just a really lovely piece, very minimalist, very clean lines. And I knew that this was going to be kind of a slow mover, just because it is a definitively minimalist look, and not everybody is a minimalist in that way. But I knew it was gonna go to somebody who's gonna do it justice. I'm so happy that this is getting out there. Tibby is just one of those brands that I really love, just personally. I remember, I feel like I've talked about this before, but I would always watch, I still watch it on streaming. I still watch What Not to Wear. And Stacey London, who I just adore as a human, as a host. I love her style, and she wore a lot of Tibby back in the day. And I remember, as a 22-year-old fresh out of college, seeing, oh, I really love that dress. I want to see if I could buy it for myself, and I would look it up, and it would be like $600. Needless to say, I did not get any Tibby dresses. So it's always exciting for me to have a piece of Tibby from that era and get it back out into the world. So I had this beauty for 7 or 8 months, again, completely expected. And I had it listed for $84, and it popped through as a full price sale. I also kind of expected that. This was gonna be something that somebody saw it, they fell in love with it, and they had to have it. And this is a $600 dress. Like, if you were to go out and try to buy something equivalent to this today, you would be paying $500, $600, $700. So that makes me happy. So I had it listed for $84. It popped through as a full price sale. I did pay $13 for this at one of my local thrift stores, and that brought my profit to $64.78. So gorgeous. I hope she loves it, and I hope she looks absolutely fabulous in it. But that is it, guys. That is the shipment for this week. Thank you so much for hanging with me while I literally get my work done. If you enjoyed this, please consider leaving a like on this video. Don't forget to hit subscribe, ring that notification bell if you want to be notified every time I publish a video. That all helps me out a ton with YouTube. But guys, without further ado, have the most amazing weekend. Happy hunting, and I will see you in the next one.